Right, good evening. Welcome to VP4TV. We're here for Friday night 9 ball. Quick look to see how many signed up. We'll do a quick refresh. We have, how many we got? We've got 12 in, we've got 4 empty seats, and we have 4 minutes to go to try and get a full house. There's the names that are in so far. So, touch and go whether we're going to get the 16. And tonight I have put up $1,000 as a little bit of an incentive to sign up, because even if it costs you $150 to sign up, your name is in the hat for $1,000 prize, and so you could still come out the tour with more money than you had when you went in it. There's still that possibility, but there won't be a draw unless we have a full house, so we may well still be short of it. Just going back to the match last night between, which was the semi-final match of the Virtual 9-Ball World Championship between Albinario and Spectre Dawn. I didn't look at the stats at the time, but I had a look at the stats a little bit earlier on, and well, the big letdown, as we saw during the match, was Spectre Dawn's break. Albinario was still breaking at a ball on the break average all the way through that match, whereas Spectre Dawn was half that. He was at 0.500, and needless to say, that was where it let him down, because apart from that, the rest that Spectre Dawn did, he made very few mistakes you would class as disastrous mistakes, and where he didn't get into a run was on his break, and that's in the end how he ended up losing. Welcome to Cobra, welcome to Coldest Pillow, and anybody else that's joining us. I don't know whether you can give us an update, Cobra. What's happening with your match? Because of course Cobra's in the final and is now going to play Albinario. When's the deadline? I haven't looked to see what the deadline is for it. I mean, I could go and look. I know you were talking about trying to play it over the weekend. Let me see. Remember, it's a race to 25, so it's going to be a good bit longer. 2024. Let's have a quick look at that 9-ball. And this is, of course, the last day of May. We're into June tomorrow. So the deadline day is the 5th of June. So that could easily be set for a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night next week. Hint, hint. Any time you want on Tuesday night, any time you want on Wednesday night, that'd be ideal. Proposed Sunday at 6 PM. Well, Sunday 6 PM would be good enough as well. That'd be early enough for me. So you're working late next week. Right, well, Sunday 6 PM sounds good to me. Anyway, we'll see how Albinario reacts. He'll probably just keep you hanging on and then accept that, because that's, of course, 7 PM his time. So because he's an hour ahead. Right, so let's go back to the matter in hand, which is tonight's tournament, and according to that there are still 4 open seats. We're going to struggle Anyone remember when Steve done an up? Yes, I do remember. He did it for a Q. I can't remember who won it, but he did it for a Q stick. Well, it doesn't look as if it's going to happen. Yeah, the raffle is only if it's full. That's the deal. So it's up to you guys to encourage every other numpty to get signed up, including Stubb. But he's bottling out. He's bottling out a tourney. His fingers burn too much, especially in this recent 9-ball World Championship. Right, we're past the top of the hour. The draw is done, so the bracket should be live, and my £10 is safe for at least 1 week. We'll try it again next week. Once the word gets round, we'll see what happens. Right, so we've got Stepan up against Coldest Pillow. Houdini with a bye. Spectre Dawn against Steve-O. Steve-O will be getting a decent enough handicap there. Fast Eddie with a bye. Jezdev up against Larry. Popman, or otherwise now known as Thunderbuster, or Bluster, whatever the hell he's calling himself. He's got a bye. John Boo against U Plonker Rodney, and Mooncake with a bye. So I think the match to look at is obviously Spectre Dawn and Steve-O. So we'll get in there and have a look at that. Yeah, Stubb says he's got a tourney later on today. Right, so we've got Spectre Dawn on the right. Steve-O, whose name isn't Stephen, for any of those confused people. His name is Mark. It's Mark Stevens, hence the nickname Steve-O. And he's getting 7 and out. Spectre Dawn wins the lag. Well, he's got a video on YouTube. He's bloody good with one hand, remember. He has a bionic arm that he can put on and take off, and he pots well. No, that's not a wind up, by the way. That's how he's got his nickname Stubb. Dry break from Spectre Dawn. Welcome to Popman. Well, will be a cut back and may well catch some of that 3-ball. And he's overcut the 2. And the inevitable is about to happen. The 3-ball passes the 5 and 4. So just to draw back. And now he'll just leave that little angle, which he's done, to bring the cue ball down past the 9-ball. I watched, I deliberately kept an eye on when Trump was going to make his appearance today in Trump Tower, and he was going to make his statement, his public statement. I mean, what a rambling pile of bullshit the guy has done. He'd little or no preparation for it, a couple of bits of paper in his hand, and all he comes out and does is rant and try and justify, instead of calling it misdemeanors or whatever it is, he started calling it this, that and the next. A load of bullshit. Trying to pull the wool over people's eyes. I get bored with it. In fact, the BBC News get bored with it. They cut him off. They'd heard enough of his ramblings. Well, Steve-O finding out what happens when you make mistakes against Spectre Dawn in Friday Night 9-ball. You end up losing the rack. Well, I think it's hard to say what one's more insane, whether Biden is sort of going down the sort of the loopy, he's going down the loopy road, whereas Donald Trump's going down the Off His Head road. Welcome to Interchange X, trying the psychological warfare. I've seen that picture. You're going to have the advantage over me. 11 o'clock at night, 10:30 last week for Spud Boy, and 11 o'clock at night my time on Tuesday. You will decidedly have the advantage over me. Inspector Don off and running in rack number 2 with the ball in the break, sitting good in the 4. Now that shot that Mark had, that might be his only shot in the match. The way this is going. Now he's just got to get into that little area, whether it be going forward or coming back for this 6 ball. So he's going forward, and he will just roll this in and leave the angle he'll have from a wee bit further away in the 7 ball, I would think. I don't know that he wants to do anything more than that. And all is good. I never actually looked at the Cowboy tournament to see if any other matches had been arranged. I should have done that earlier on. I've had all afternoon to do that, and I never get round to checking to see if there's anything else scheduled. I know that Tam's playing. He's playing tomorrow afternoon, I think about 5 o'clock or something, against Fast Eddie. So Spectre Dawn for 2-0. And the 4 ball, I think, has gone. Well, this time not sitting quite as good on the 1 ball, although he does have a choice of 2 combos here, and it looks like the 5 ball's the favourite. 1 ball's going to come off that short rail. It's got to come back into play. That's why he's hit it quite firm. Now it needs to bounce. Well, I think he's got to run for cover here. He's got to miss that 2 ball up the table if he's going to try and use the 3 and 8 ball. Because if he's going to cut it that way, he's cutting the 1 ball over this corner pocket in the left. He's going the other way, trying to use the 6 or 7, but it's the same thing. He's going to have the ball over the pocket. So Mark's got a chance here, which is a must. And of course he just has to get to the 7 ball. What happens with Stub Jose? Well, we have to assume that either one or both of them are sending proposals. If it was only Jose that sent the proposal and Stub hasn't done anything, then when the deadline comes, Jose will go through. If they've both been sending proposals back to one another, then it'll be a toss of the coin as to who goes through. Well, mistake straight away from Mark. Cannot make any mistakes when you're given that opportunity. But he's almost got away with it. And this is rolling behind 8. That's a very touchy little stroke there by Spectre Dawn. And this could, see, going that way, you're going to be in line to hit the jaw of that side pocket, but you can, it's tight to get it past the 7, but he's hit it. And, well, he'll take that, although he's probably going to be in trouble again, but there isn't a pot on. Yeah, if there's only one player actively sending proposals, then that player goes through when the deadline comes. If the two of them are sending proposals and can't agree a time, then it'll just be a toss of a coin. Or the actual, obviously the tournament system randomly picks a player to go through. Well, this time Mark's got the kick again, but has left the 3 on, although he's now tied the 6 and 7 up. Now this is touchy, he's trying to get the break, he's got the break, and he's got sight of the 6. Okay, not a pot that you would say is a gimme. But he's knocking these in centre pocket every time. Unforced errors are not what you want in this sort of match. I think that's dry, and the 1 ball is on, and he's going to have to get back up the table for the 2 ball into that side pocket. So just a big draw. Doesn't want to overdo it, he just wants to get below the 2. See, that's now made it a bit more tricky. Had he just got a draw to about there, he'd have been straight in the 2. It's a bit more tricky now. But in it goes. Now, get out and high enough. Don't bump the 4. What's Numpty saying? VP4 leaks. Mr. Steve will soon add a tartan table. It's better something. I can't read the rest of it, especially for the Scottish players. Watch the cue ball. That's a disaster. Another unforced error, and another rack will go south as a result of it. Well, this is one way of getting you focused for the rest of the match when you've got yourself 4-0 down and 2 of the racks were self-inflicted damage by mistakes that you've made yourself. That really focuses the mind on the job in hand for the rest of the match. Especially as and when and if you get another shot at the table and the rack is available for the winning. But Spectre Dawn, well, he's got the break working. That 9 ball's very near the corner pocket, as is the 1, which he's going to try and just kick in, but he got it too thick. Now, oh, that bump in the 8 ball's given Mark a chance. Well, I've never seen him. Oh, has he got into that enough? I think he's just got into it enough. Yeah, he's just got there. That almost went wrong right off the bat, so... this needs to slow up. It needs to slow up. Now, you've got to be playing this 4 ball into the same pocket, so you've got to get up above the 4 from that long rail, out into the table. And now it's looking better. Now, a roll in the 5 ball and stop the cue ball next to the 8. That's the plan here. And then the 8 ball into the side and the 9. Well, in fact, he only needs to the 7 ball, doesn't he? So, and that's no good. That's a fail straight away there. He's rolled right to the rail, and now, if he wants to stop that cue ball, he's going to have to jack up, but he's going to roll through, and it's leaking away. And now he's got one of them cuts. So this to get a rack in the board. And in it goes. And he's off the mark. I don't know. I don't know whether he hangs about with any people at all, that guy. I think he just shows up when there's a live stream on and then he disappears. And meanwhile, Steve-O's break has given him the 4 ball and the 6 ball and a shot in the 1 on the side. But that traffic that was in the way has caused a problem. Now this has to be wafer thin. And the cue ball needs to run though. It needs to run. I don't think it's quite at the legs. And well, the bank is on to bank the 2 ball right up the middle of the table and keep the cue ball behind the 3, 5 and 9 here. Just got to watch you don't stun this too much and end up scratching. Well, he's going all out for the pot. He's trying to get this match killed off a lot sooner. But doing that, he's given Steve-O another opportunity here. Now this time, looking at the angle he's got to go forward and try and get in a line behind that 3 ball. This is too tight. That's too tight. He had to go forward and away from the 3 ball slightly. And now he's no good. I mean, this is really a dodgy cut. Yeah, that's asking too much. But he'll settle for that end result. There's a 5-second delay on YouTube. I've just counted it there watching on my phone. There's a 5-second delay, which is not bad at the moment. But I would always advise anybody watching just to refresh your stream every 15 minutes. Well, that 3 ball has come out a bit too far. And that's a good safety. Now I think that Steve-O can spin the cue ball up behind this 3 ball and kick it up the table. Now if he can stop the cue ball, he might get lucky here. Now he's just trying to brush the edge of it. That's no good. I think he had to put English on that and try and get in, but maybe it was too tight. But it might have been better than this, because this has just freed up the 5 ball. And left the table wide open for Spectre Dawn. So again, hopefully the audio is okay. Everything coming through okay in my mic. I'm sure you'd have let me know by now. So now the question to ask is that Mark's consolation rack that he got? John Bus, the one to watch tonight. Watch this space. I don't know what the hell you're talking about again, Popman. I have no idea. What's John Bus? Oh, John Boo. I thought it was some sort of programme that was on the telly later on. I didn't know what you were talking about. Right, so Spectre Dawn 5-1 in the lead. I don't know what went in, but a ball has definitely gone. 6 balls gone. And no shot in the one. Push out played. Now, what do you do? Do you play this or do you give it back? He's trying to duck behind the 3. And he hasn't got there. Spectre Dawn trying to use the 7 and he's got the job done. So now Steve was in trouble. Now he wants to roll onto this. He wants to roll onto it. I don't like the angle he's taking though. Oh yeah, that'll do though. I thought that line was very close to the side pocket and he actually just got past it and no more. Again, not a bad result. First result through. Coldest Pillow beat Stefan 7 racks to 2. Well, this is a chance for Steve-O. Thin cut though. Yeah, never easy, but the cue ball was taking a line where he was going to get cover. In fact, he would have hooked himself in the 2. Easy enough to jump over that 8 ball, but at least he's left nothing on for Spectre Dawn here. Well, if this was me, I'd be pushing that 7 ball down towards the 9 and tucking it up along the 2 ball there and giving ball in hand to Steve-O. That's what I'd be doing. I think he's trying to find a line to jump this 3 and hit the 1. And he's got it. And he's going to put Steve-O in a world of hurt here in a second. Unless he's trying to bang it into the bottom right hand corner, no, he's going to nail him. So that was a good jump. So that looks as if it must be fairly tight to the 9 ball. Well, it isn't tight, not when you get up to it. He's left him the rail. This, you know, it gives you another example of how tough it is to beat these guys, because they're not going to make a lot of mistakes and your mistakes are amplified even more. Well, talking about making mistakes, commentators curse. Look at that one. He's taken his eye off the ball, holding for the 4 ball, and he's missed the 3. Well, needless to say, Steve has got to probably just play it safe here and leave the long 5 ball. Try and leave it as straight as he can. And that's no good. He's come out too far. He really wants to be looking down the barrel of the gun in this 5 ball just to make his life really simple. Now he's just got to watch the line and hold the cue ball for the 7. Watch the cue ball. Oh dear. Almost a disaster. But it's another rack in the board from the mistake from Spectre Dawn at this time. And, well, Larry is meaning business tonight. 7-0 against Jesdev. Well, we've got the Champions League final tomorrow. I presume it's on YouTube. It's usually always on YouTube every year. So that'll be live and free. Anybody that wants to watch it, like myself, who doesn't have Sky anymore or anything like that. I mean, in fact, I could watch it on. It'll be on Discovery Plus probably. I'll be very surprised if it isn't. I could watch it on that. So Steve-O looking to try and get back into this. No, that's terrible. He's not hit it. He's got too much stun in it and hasn't got the draw in it this time. And that's a really bad shot, because look at the acreage he had to give a shot in that 5-ball. And that's a gilt-edge chance gone. Oh, it gets worse. So it's painful, but this is going to hurt. Great opportunity. And he actually get far too much stun into that. He tried a stun draw when he should have been just drawn it out well into the open country there to make everything simple. And he's going to pay the price big time. Huge rack that's just got away there. Spectre Dawn on the hill. I'll have a quick drink. So I'll be keeping an eye on the virtual 9-ball World Championship to see when Albinario accepts this. I think he'll accept the proposal unless he seriously gets something on. I'd be surprised if it doesn't get accepted by tomorrow morning. Yes, I will be. Yeah. But like I say, I don't know if there's anything. In fact, I'll tell you what. While Spectre Dawn's finishing this match offer, we'll go and have a look at the bracket, because I haven't looked at it all day. The Cowboy one. I think there was 3 matches on the last time I checked. I could be wrong. There's certainly 2 on. Mine for Tuesday. Well, there's another big mistake again by Spectre Dawn. He's just getting a wee bit sloppy. And maybe too much in a hurry to get it over and done with. And the thing about billiard games of every description, when you start taking liberties, sometimes the balls don't forgive you. And he said a couple of big mistakes that he shouldn't be making, and that just because he's too much in a hurry and not giving it due care and attention, and that's cost him there. When that rack was definitely given up, but there you go, Mark's failed again. He's got a ball, and this time he's scratched. Well, that 5-7 looks dead. It's absolutely stone dead, that 7. It's got into the side of the pocket, but there's no way it's missing. And with the 4-ball really handy as well. So talking about shooting yourself in the foot and hammering nails into your own coffin, Mark's ticked all the boxes there with that shot. Well, this match should have been over. Is it about to still be over this time though? Maybe Spectre Dawn will give himself a shakedown here. Stop messing about. Well, he's going to have to travel up country, back down for the 4. Loads of room to get on it. Not a lot that can go wrong. So he just wants to get back out to more or less where he is. Welcome to Mooncake. And that's exactly what he's done. Now, this 5-ball wants to go to the rail. In fact, it's stunned dead. So he's played it, I think he played it sort of thick to hold that 5-ball there. That'll work. So 9-ball into the right side pocket. And it will eventually be a 7 racks to 3 win for Spectre Dawn. No, we haven't a clue who he is. But he's definitely not somebody that's just decided to come online after playing offline for years. Definitely not. He's somebody we know. Right, so there you are. There's the result. What the hell happened here? Why am I suddenly jumping into Larry's room? That's weird. That's happened before that, by the way. That's happened before, where I've went to leave a room and ended up just jumping straight into some other room. Right. So, Coldest Pillow is one apiece with Houdini. Spectre Dawn is just about to start with Fast Eddie. And Larry, of course, off and running with Popman. In fact, I'm just coming out of that right now. Hang on. That's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to do this 2024 and go and have a look at this damn thing, and that way I can leave any shadow of a doubt what's happening. Right, we've got 3 matches. We've got Fast Eddie and Tam in the Virtual Cowboy World Championships tomorrow afternoon at 5 PM, so I'll get an early dinner and I'll be ready for that. We've got Poolaholic and Bankster. I won't be doing that one, and then I won't be doing this one either. 9ball.com versus InterchangeX on Tuesday evening, British summertime, 11 PM, so it's a late one, and I'll be half asleep for that. Meanwhile, back to business here. Right, so we're still in the first rack, and Popman's getting last 2, but he's not going to be getting last 2 here, I don't think. Well, I don't understand it either. I don't understand. I mean, Popman's a perfect example. Why the hell he's decided he has to have a profile? Well, there's a big mistake from Larry. Commentator's curse. Why Popman's decided he has to have a profile called Thunder Bluster is just crazy. And Larry's going to get a second bite at the cherry. So Cobra still thinks it's Fox. I don't think it is. Well, excuse me. Well, it could well be. I mean, let's not argue about it. I mean, it could well be. But then again, you know, how two-faced is that to say he's had enough and he's gone, and then just, you know, he did it before. He did it before when he was, what's his name, and he comes back as Mr. Fox. He was, what was he called then? I can't remember, but anyway, he disappeared before and then comes back as somebody else, so it could well be him. It wouldn't surprise me if it was. So, Larry, into rack number 2, 4 ball has gone. Not ideally on the 1, shall we say, the 2 balls hidden away. Yes, you would definitely think that, wouldn't you? Well, a good safety in terms of not leaving a pot on, and Larry, I think, has done the opposite, has he? Oh, I don't know that. Popman, can he get enough? Well, can he twist it a wee bit and cheat the pocket on that 1 ball? I think he can. I think the cue ball, no, obviously not. Got far too much of that 3 ball. Yeah, and also when you think about it, not only would they definitely have to generally be from the UK, but they'd also have to be a certain age to have been around when Only Fools and Horses was on, which was back in the mid-80s. You know, that's 40 years ago. So that also gives you a hint as to the age group that we're talking about. Yeah. I mean, I remember watching the first series of Only Fools and Horses, trying to, work out. You didn't know what the characters were. You didn't know what it was all about. It had a different theme tune as well in the first series. You've never seen it? Well, you plonker Rodney has had a 7 racks to 4 win over John Boot. And Larry 2-0 up and going all out to pot everything he sees. Now that 5 and 8 has to be made. It's not a set combo. Whoever gets that far. But Larry's ducking and diving. That's a good safety. I've never seen The Sopranos. Well, it was a good cut in the 9 ball. Pity it was a 2 ball he was going for. I never saw any of The Sopranos. I mean, I mean, I had already stopped watching the television back then when The Sopranos was on. I don't sit and watch any new serial stuff or anything like that. I don't go near the telly for that at all. My telly only serves purpose for the news, a film in the afternoon where I fall asleep, and that's about it. Yeah, well, I've seen all of Father Ted probably 10 times over. Well, this time Portman has got a chance, but this 3 ball is tight. 5 ball, of course, still tied up with the 8, so it's going to be hard work for Portman here to get to last 2. Watch the cue ball, because he wasn't doing anything with the cue ball at all, and it's just tracked straight into the corner. Now, is Larry going to take his medicine and just play for the combo, or is he going to try and bust something out? Yeah, he's going to play it for the combo. So, he hasn't got ideal on it though, that's the problem. He wanted to be obviously there, and this is offline, so this is not anything set easy. That was never going to be easy at that angle. So Portman lives again. Now he's got to be careful with the scratch in the right side pocket here, of course, also. And he should be on the board. He doesn't want to leave this cue ball short. He wants to get right down here in the rail for this 8 ball. Cue ball tracking in a bad direction again. But he's okay. Did you watch Blackadder? Yes, I'll tell you, I was like, I watched the first series of it and hated the first series. And the BBC were reluctant to commission it for a second series because of the first series being so bloody weird. There's that pattern, first time tonight. But the 5 ball looks loose at the back there. Let's have a look. Well, I say loose, it isn't, it's actually tight, so it's only going into the side pocket again. Doesn't go into the corner, I don't think. Yeah, the first series had Brian Blessed in it. What's his name? Peter Cook was in it. And the actual Blackadder character was he was horrible. But it certainly got better as it got on. Because even then, Baldric was actually the intelligent one in the first series of Blackadder. So, I hope for Potman's sake that he's checked that 5 ball. He has to get above the 5 ball. It won't go in the corner. It will only go from that top right hand side into the left side pocket past the 8 ball. But he's got troubles at the moment with this 3 ball and getting good in the 4. He's trying to hold it, so he's got to nip back. So he's got a good angle to do it, just to nip back below this trio of balls so he can play that 5 on the side. I mean, this is an easy enough pot up the rail. The pot's not the problem, it's just how he controls it. Because he's hit that like a sledgehammer. Look at that. I mean, that is so badly hit. Everything about that shot was entirely wrong. That just needed a little nip to cut that and jab it back off the rail to get below the 5. And he's hit it like a sledgehammer, and he's hit it over 2 feet too heavy. But Larry's having a look, and I'm telling you, Larry, it doesn't go into the corner, it only goes into the side. Mind you, of course, Larry's problem was he couldn't see the 4 ball. I didn't realise that. So, Potman now with ball in hand has got to get on this 5 ball. It goes into the side pocket every day of the week. It just doesn't go into the corner. Because there's no way it passes that 9 ball. See, the 9 ball's blocking it. Look at that. So with ball in hand, he's got absolutely no excuse. Now, he's leaving himself far too much angle in this. What the hell's he trying to do here? Yeah, well, that was just crazy for a start. Okay, he's got there. And he's actually probably sitting as good as you could ever be on this, but that was never what he needed to do. He's actually perfect, though, just to roll this up into the pocket and finish up here for the 6. But I'll tell you, he got lucky. Now, what's John Boo ranting about? Stickier than stick. Sticky the stick inset. Oh, is that a line? That a line from Blackadder? Well, Potman's just got to cut this in and not scratch to be 2 apiece. And he didn't take any evasive action there. He trusted his eye line that he wasn't going to scratch. He's got it back all square, but that isn't the way I would have went about it. I would have just, with ball in hand, I would have just dropped below that 5. But it all worked out good for him in the end. And he's got a ball in the break, but that 2 ball I think has just killed his chance here. Well, I say killed it, he's got a dead set combo if he fancies a go at that. He's just got, all you have to do with this shot is get the 1 ball on the line, because the 2 ball has to go in. All you're focusing is the potting angle in that 1. That 2 ball has got to go into the pocket if you've got the line right, and he hasn't. And he's not getting second prize either, because Larry can see enough of the 1. So next Friday, assuming I'm still here next Friday, I will do the same thing again. I will put up 1,000 $V for the free draw for all entrants to Friday Night 9-Ball next week, provided there are 16 in. And I managed to get away with it this week. We only had, the 12 in. If we get 16 next week, then we'll have the draw. And a random player signed up to the tournament will win the 1,000 $V. But if you ain't getting yourself in the tournament, you ain't in the draw. And if we don't get 16 in, we won't have them either. No, I won't be keeping doubling bullshit, nothing. Sod that idea. What do you think, I'm a bloody millionaire? That's Steve you want to be talking to for that idea. So Larry, to take the lead now, how's he finished on this? He's stuck to the rail, just a roll through and straight on this 9. In fact, now that I think about it, thinking back to me talking about the Champions League final tomorrow night, I'll miss the bloody start of it with this cowboy match that's on with Tam and Fast Eddie, because that's very unlikely to be over in 2 hours. Mind you, a lot of finals are, they got all the big hype and the build up, and then the finals are crap. Well, Popman gets the safety. Well, there is enough room to jump the 7. There's no doubt about that. And there's no doubt that Larry can hit the 1, but what else he can do with it is doubtful. Or he can do that. What a shot that was. Cracking shot. How's his luck? Pretty damn good, I would say. He's sitting very pretty on this 2 ball. That was a great jump from Larry. Welcome to Whiz Kid. So he's sitting nicely on the 2. 3 ball is handy. 4 ball, I think he's going to have to decide where he's going with that, because that's not going into the side. So he may well just be going long with the 4 ball, hold the cue ball for the 5. That seems like the simple solution here. So just cheat the pocket a little bit with this 3 ball and maybe come around and out for the 4. Or is he stunning it? He's trying to come back to play it in the corner. Well, he's almost got there. But this is tight-ish. I mean, there is a good bit of the pocket, and he's going to have to get the line right. Well, missed the 5 just. And he's almost short in the 5. He can still thin cut it, but the cue ball's running loose. And you've got to think your odds are pretty good of having a shot somewhere in this 6 ball. And that'll be good enough. I'm beginning to go downhill, folks, and that's only 10 to 8. I'm beginning to feel the pinch. I might get my second win though. I've seen that happening. So Larry's going to have the gap. 4-2 lead, provided he can drop nicely onto the 9. Let's have a quick update here. Hang on while he's breaking off, because we've had no other results come through. We've got Coldest Pillow. Oh, Houdini's on the hill with 7 and out. He's 6-4 in front, so Coldest Pillow's under severe threat here and going to the 1 loss side. We've got Spectre Dawn 2 apiece with Fast Eddie. We've got the match that we're in at the moment. You've got Rodney Uplonker, who's actually, or Uplonker Rodney, who's 4-0 down to Mooncake. So he had a good result in the first round, but he's under, again, severe threat in the second round. Meanwhile, Larry's breaks, giving him the 1 and the 2 ball. 3 ball's going to have to be a bank, and he's going to have to get that cue ball right out of there. In fact, he's not banking it, he's ducking for cover, which is the right thing to do. And the main reason for that is, of course, he had no guarantee he could get that cue ball out there and onto the 4. But he hasn't got full cover on the 3. Popman can see the edge, but he's got to try and get that cue ball out of there, and that's not going to be quite as easy either. And in fact, he's overhit it, trying to use the 8 and 9 for cover. And the only thing that's the saving grace for Popman is that 8 ball. But that 8 ball, I think you can certainly get to it, although you're going to leave an awkward cut. And this is not great either. These are all tough. I mean, the cue ball's heading in a good direction to go on the 5 into the side. That's not a problem. It's just the pot that's the problem. Oh, has he hit it? He's just getting there. So, now, I mean, Larry could get crazy here. Might not be a good idea though. I think he's just going to play this clean and maybe either come round behind the 8 and 9 or draw off this 5. Yeah, that was the right thing to do. Now he's got a good chance off this 6 ball to get a good line on the 7 to give him a choice in what he wants to do here. He probably still wants to try and get out into the table and leave the cut on the 8 ball. In fact, now, looking at where he's finished, he's the wrong side of the 7. So, and with him being the wrong side of the 7, he's putting a bit of right English to just try and go over here so he can get into the gap. Oh, he's hit it short, has he? I think he's okay. I think he can get there. I think that's enough. In fact, I'm sure that's enough that he can get the cut. Yeah, but it's going to have to be the bank. Banks are open. So this for 5-2. Oh, now hang on a minute. I think it's going to bump the jaws. Yeah, so Popman gets a relief. And back to within 1. Well, now that we're talking about, we were talking about earlier on there about who you Plonker Rodney is, the one thing I forgot to mention is that he sent me a PM about not having live streams in Shooter's Pool. So he's making, well, if he is somebody we know, he's making out that he's somebody from Shooter's Pool that's come here, which is probably very unlikely. I noticed that the chat's stopped again on YouTube on my phone. The chat only seems to go so far and then it just dies. Don't know why. I mean, obviously I've got it on screen, so I can read it anyway on my main monitor. That's not a problem, but I'm just wondering why it does that on the YouTube app. Oh, that's going to end up in trouble, is it? Oh no, tell a lie, he's on the 4 ball. I thought he was on the 5. I thought he was playing to on the 5 there. Well, this has got to come up the middle of the table. But got to come up high enough up the table. Which he's done. Now he's got a similar thing to what Larry had in the last rack. He has to get the cue ball out and far enough out into the table that he can play the cut in the 7. But this time there's a lot more room to get to the 7. So he's just got to watch the pace and deal with the pot. The cue ball's going to do the right thing. That's cutting away, is it? Oh, it's gone in. And now he's got to get a hold of this cue ball off the cut. Oh, Coldest Pillows battled his way through that match there. That was well done. Final rack decider win. He was under threat there from Houdini. But it was Coldest Pillow that did the great escape. Now, I noticed Coldest Pillow says, how easy is it to adapt? I don't know what he's talking about there. What did I miss in the chat there? How easy is it to adapt? Well, Potman gives up the table again, and Larry will have a 5-3 lead. No, that's a question. As I say, I've never seen anybody who started off in shooters pool and come to VP4, so I wouldn't know. Cue ball's gone. So that's a bit of a relief for Potman. He's going to have ball in hand. And the first big problem is getting on the 2 ball. Now the side you want to go to is the left side for the 2 ball, but if you get up the table too far you could end up getting in behind that 5 ball. But that's where he wants to go. Oh, I don't know. I have no clue. So up to the left hand side for this 2 ball. Got to go far enough but not too far. This looks a good pace. That's perfect. And he's also perfect to just drop through into the gap between the 7 and 8. Or the 7 and 4, sorry. Keep thinking that's the 8 ball in the middle of the table. And he'll be good enough in the 3. Now, he has to make a choice here because the 4 ball doesn't go past the 5 up into that corner. Oh, hang on a minute. Has he actually got there in this 3? I think he's just barely got there. He has barely got there at all. And he's not got back far enough either for this 4 ball. This is ugly, but it does cut. and he should be on the 5. It will cut. It most certainly will cut. You're going to run the cue ball loose. And a bump in the 6 of that wouldn't do any harm. Let's have a look at the 6 balls off the rail, so there's no problem with that. So Potman just having to get to the 8 ball. And he's let the cue ball just leak away there. He didn't check it up. He could have checked that up to hold it a bit off that back rail. Well, once again, it's all about the pot. The cue ball will be there or thereabouts for the pot and the 8 ball. So Potman stays in touch. We're back to within 1. Look for the usual good break, a ball and a shot. He's certainly got a ball, and they've split well, but the 1 ball right down the middle of the table, so straight out the gate. He needs a good pot on this 1. Problem is, he's heading, well, presuming he's going to hit this with a bit of pace, he's going to be bumping the 3, and he won't be good in the 2. In fact, that's the reason he's decided the safety shot was a better idea. Well, that's probably, I don't know that, is Larry going to be enticed into trying to thin cut this one? Maybe not. That's a bit too much to ask from that distance. Especially with the cue ball being close to the rail as well. I think he'd be going overboard doing that. Well, it's all about getting the line behind the 9 and 7, because the 1 ball is always going to be in the open, and I think he's got there. That will do. Let's have a quick update on what's happening here. Coldest Pillow through to round 3, waiting on the winner of Spectre Dawn and Fast Eddie. That's neck and neck, that match. 4 apiece. We've got Larry 5-4 in front. We've got Uplonker, Rodney and Mooncake. Well, Mooncake was 4-0 up. And Uplonker, Rodney's back to 4 apiece. I can't have jinxed him. I wasn't in the room. I need to be in the room to jinx somebody. I can't jinx him from a distance. I've got to be in the room for the voodoo to work. Well, the only thing that would go wrong here would be hooking himself behind the 8. He's sitting good in the 3. 6 ball handy. And Larry should be in the hill. Oh dear, the yawning started big time again. Oh. This is why I hate getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning and not getting enough sleep. Did I see the video of Diane Abbott? No, I didn't. Are you talking about that this is something that she did this afternoon after Keir Starmer said that she can stand for election? I saw that in the news, but I never saw her response. Yeah. I saw a clip of. I don't know whether that was whether you're talking about one this afternoon, but I saw her talking the other day, and she's got. I don't know whether that now. The thing is that could be nerves, right? But it could also be Parkinson's. It could be Parkinson's. Presumably, when people are seeing her shaking like that, no doubt if her doctor's seen her shaking like that, they would ask her in for some tests and stuff. It could be Parkinson's, but it could just be nerves. It could be the early stages of Parkinson. It could easily be because she's at that age. Is that going to get there? Yeah. I mean, I remember. I think I've maybe said this before, but I remember watching. Billy Connolly was at an event, and he was standing at the door, and I was looking at him and how he was standing, and how he was holding himself, and I thought there's something no right with Billy. That was before it was announced that he had early stage Parkinson's. This was a while ago now, obviously, but I distinctly remember saying he does not look right. There's something subdued about him because, obviously when he did a stand-up tour after he'd been diagnosed, you could see the difference in him because it showed you him just standing there. One thing about Connolly when he's on the stage is he was physical. He was physical. He'd be doing walking and all that sort of stuff going on, whatever it is. So Diane Abbott could very well have the early stages or something like that. It wouldn't surprise me if it was. But it could also be that she's in a nervous state. It could be that. So you can't make any judgment, obviously, until something would be officially announced. And again, if she's going to be an MP, if she did get elected, she could be there for 5 years, and might end up having to give up her seat, depending how vigorous this thing is. If he does have something like that, but we can only speculate that at the moment. But I do agree with you. Yes, she's got tremors, but it could be nerves. And we can't make a proper judgment because A, we're not doctors, and B, it wouldn't be the right thing to do. But you can only surmise things until something's officially said. Well, Larry, hoping to try and get around the corner there, didn't quite get it, but this is still a thin cut and it will go. Cue ball's going to be running all over the shop here. And he's got it. Where's it going to end up though? He's going to be okay. What do you call him? I know he had it very young. Michael, what's his face again? Oh shit, I've forgotten his name. Yeah, well that was a tough shot for Larry. Michael J. Fox, aye. And he's obviously on the best drugs that you can get for it, to try and kill the tremors. As is, Billy Connolly, he's on strong meds as well. Or anybody that's got the damn thing. And what's the cue ball? This is running too far. So it's going to need a good cut here for Popman to stay alive, but to actually take this all the way. Now, one good pot, and provided he doesn't try to slam this in, there's no way he should be scratching anywhere. I mean, this is perfectly safe, this cue ball, as long as he isn't going to try and butcher the thing into the hole. And that's well done. So we've got a final rack decided. We didn't think that was going to happen. Yeah, Michael J. Fox. He would have been in lots of films. You probably would have had Back to the Future 4. You would have had that, no doubt about it. You would have definitely had Back to the Future 4, but you know, all of that stuff's gone out the window. And that just I mean, that's the thing about having loads of money. You can have all the money in the world, but what's better, money or health? And there's a young guy whose life has been, you know, his acting career. I mean, he has been in episodes of things, hasn't he? Since he got it, he was. I mean, nothing that I watch, but he has been in. Has he been in a film? I think he's been in either a sitcom or something in the States. Larry will know, or whatever. But you know, he's basically his acting career's over. He's not going to get many scripts through, unless they're looking for somebody that's, you know, they're making a film about somebody that has Parkinson's. Then he's going to fit the bill for that, isn't he? He's going to be typecast that way. Well, Larry, he has the table at his mercy, and he's a good shot in the 3, and also he has to be good on this 5 ball to get decent in the 6, because the 6 ain't going anywhere other than that other corner pocket. 8 balls blocking it, so this isn't all over this match. And Hugh Plonker Rodney from 4-0 down, as he was against Mooncake, has blitzed him 7 racks to 4. What happened here? Poolaholic has a question in the lobby. What, a question for me? That's no good. Or just a general question. I'm looking. Hey guys, how to start a World Champ Cowboy match before the play? Well, it does say on the scheduler thing, play now. Well, it won't say play now if they're both arranged a date for tomorrow. That's the way it is, unless they get a hold of Steve. They're going to have to somebody has to get a hold of Steve to open it up. If they've already agreed a time but they want to bring it forward to play now, Steve has to open up the sign up again, open up the bracket for them to actually arrange it again, and then choose the play now. Meanwhile, John Boo in the 1-loss side survives 4 racks to 1 against Houdini. That's what they basically need to do. And Larry has gone over the line, 7 racks to 6. So that's what Poolaholic needs to do. I think the 2 of them have already arranged a match, but because the 2 of them are here, they want to play it tonight. And if that's the case, the only way they'll be able to do that is getting Steve to open the bracket again. And Steve probably isn't around, he's probably out in the golf course. So I think that's all I can say on that matter. Meanwhile, we've got Steve-O up against Popman on the 1-loss side. Larry's now playing Hugh Plonker Rodney. We're going to dive into this Spectre Dawn Fast Eddie match because it must be about all over. In fact, we've got Spectre Dawn 6-5 in front. And has the 2 ball stayed in play? Well, he's going to have to go to the rail pretty soon for this 2 ball to go in, but he's got to trifle with the very edge of that 9 ball and just miss it. And that's played perfect, but I don't think he's got out enough though. Well, Fast Eddie ain't dead and buried in this match yet. Yeah, I'm fairly certain that once you choose and agree a time for your match, then you don't have a play now. In fact, I could go and look at the bracket because I've already arranged the match with Interchange X, and I'm pretty certain there's nothing else you can do. I think they'll do that at the end of this match. Let's be honest, I haven't really got a proper clue because I've never. I played a lot more NRT tournaments when we were testing the game rather than since the game's gone live. We're getting a bit of